Welcome back to our channel. You guys, today is Wednesday, and it is a beautiful day outside, but honestly, I have been glued to my screen all morning because my jaw is still on the floor. I am typing this so fast my fingers hurt, but we need to talk about what just happened. Let's just get right into it. So let's just set the stage here. We are back at the Bikini Bar, and honestly, hasn't this place seen enough trauma and chaos lately? I mean, let's be real. Just a few episodes ago, we had that massive, bloody brawl where Will Spencer accidentally knocked out Eric Forrester. That was the incident that basically ruined Will's entire life. It got him banished from the Forrester family, it got him dumped by Elektra, and it sent him spiraling into this dark, drunken depression. And ever since that night, the Bikini Bar has felt like this cursed ground for the younger generation. But today, it was supposed to be a place of celebration. Deacon Sharp has this place running, and it was supposed to be a happy, romantic evening. And now we have RJ Forrester, the golden boy. The guy who Ridge Forrester thinks can do absolutely no wrong. RJ has been parading around Los Angeles like he is the absolute savior of the Forrester family. Especially after he basically orchestrated Will's downfall. He ducked that punch, let his grandfather take the hit, and then played the innocent victim to swoop in and claim Elektra for himself. And today, he was ready to seal the deal. The whole Forrester family is gathered at the Bikini Bar amidst this really festive, bustling atmosphere. The place is packed. The music is playing. Ridge is there, looking smug as always, probably thinking about how superior his bloodline is to the Spencers. Eric is there, recovering from his black eye, looking proudly at his grandson. Steffy is probably glaring at someone in the corner, but even she is in on the celebration. And RJ is standing there in the middle of the room, looking like a Prince Charming straight out of a Disney movie. He has the perfect hair, the perfect smile, the perfect tailored suit. He gets down on one knee. RJ actually gets down on one knee right there in the middle of the Bikini Bar in front of everyone. And he pulls out a ring. A massive, ridiculous Forrester-funded diamond, probably. He is looking up at Elektra with these big, puppy dog eyes, giving this whole speech about how much he loves her, how he wants to protect her, how they are meant to be together forever. Elektra is standing there looking completely overwhelmed. And you guys know how I feel about Elektra lately. She has been so hypocritical, so possessive, so quick to judge Will while ignoring her own family's toxic traits. She literally threw her necklace at Will and abandoned him when he needed her most. But in this moment, looking down at RJ, she just looks like a girl who thinks she finally found her safe harbor. She thinks she found the good guy. She is just about to say yes. Her mouth is open. The word yes is literally forming on her lips. And the Forrester family is holding their collective breath. Ridge is probably ready to pop the champagne and make a toast to the destruction of the Spencer family. It is this picture-perfect soap opera moment that makes you want to roll your eyes because it is just too perfect. But then, oh my God, then. The doors to the Bikini Bar burst open, and it is not just someone walking in to order a drink. It is Melissa Dillon, but she doesn't look like the Dillon we know. She doesn't look like the calculated, ambitious girl who was bragging to her coworker Jessica about sleeping on Will's couch. She doesn't look like the girl who was trying to secure the Spencer wealth. She looks completely frantic, panicked. Her clothes are a mess. Her hair is wild, and she looks like she has been through absolute hell, and she is screaming. Dillon is literally screaming at the top of her lungs, interrupting the perfect Forrester proposal. And the whole room just freezes. The music probably stops, or at least it felt like it did. You could hear a pin drop in that bar. Everyone is staring at Dillon. And you have to remember, Elektra absolutely hates Dylan. Elektra literally slapped Dylan across the face not that long ago in a fit of jealous rage over Will, so seeing Dylan crash her proposal, Elektra probably thought this was just another desperate attempt to ruin her life. But Dylan isn't looking at Elektra, she is pointing straight at RJ, the golden boy on his knee. And she screams that RJ is a psychopathic pervert. Yes, those exact words, a psychopathic pervert. And then she drops the bomb that is going to change this show forever. Dylan screams that RJ kidnapped her. He locked her in a secret basement, for weeks. I just need to pause here because my mind is completely blown. A secret basement? Where? At the beach house. We know from the timeline a few weeks ago that RJ and Dylan had a passionate evening at his new beach house. They kissed. They decided to move on from their past heartbreaks. Did he just never let her leave? Did he lock her up right after that? Or is this some other secret location? Dylan says he kept her down there for weeks to force her affection, to make her love him, to literally break her down until she submitted to him. And the Forresters are just standing there in shock. Ridge is shaking his head, looking like he cannot process the words coming out of Dylan's mouth. Eric looks horrified. But Dylan doesn't just have words, she has proof. She holds up her hands, and she shows her wrists to the entire room. They are covered in dark, ugly, purple bruises. The kind of bruises you get from being tied up, from being restrained against your will for a long time. It is sickening. It is actually sickening to look at. And it is the kind of physical evidence that you cannot just explain away as a misunderstanding. And this is where the scene goes from dramatic to straight-up psychological horror movie. The camera pans to RJ. You would expect an innocent person to look confused, right? To stand up and say, "What are you talking about? I haven't seen you in weeks. You're crazy." You would expect him to defend himself. But RJ doesn't do that. His face changes. The golden boy mask just completely slips off, and he looks furious. He looks filled with this extreme, terrifying rage. His joy, his perfect proposal smile, it just vanishes in a millisecond. And he glares at Dylan with pure, unadulterated hatred. Because she exposed him, she ruined his perfect moment. He doesn't look like a wrongly accused man. He looks like a monster who just got caught. Elektra sees this. She is standing right in front of him. And she steps back. You can see the exact moment her entire world crumbles. The realization hitting her like a freight train. She looks at the bruises on Dylan's wrists, and then she looks at the rage in RJ's eyes, and she realizes the horrifying truth. She realizes that everything RJ has done, all that caring and protecting her from Will Spencer, it wasn't love, it was control. Sick, twisted, psychopathic control. He wanted to isolate her. He wanted to be the only person in her life. And while he was playing the devoted boyfriend to her, he had another woman chained up in a basement because she probably rejected him or didn't give him exactly what he wanted. I mean, think about it. RJ manipulated that whole fight with Will. He ducked so Eric would get punched. He isolated Elektra from Will. He played the hero. And all along, he was hiding this incredibly dark, violent secret. What were the writers thinking? Honestly, I am just typing this so fast because I am so fired up. This is the darkest storyline they have done in years. We have had shooters, we have had kidnappings, but this feels so intimate and so disturbing because it is RJ, the guy who is supposed to be the moral compass of the younger generation. The guy who Ridge has been holding up as the standard of perfection while tearing Will down. And what about Will? Will has been sitting in a drunken depression, thinking he lost the love of his life because he is a violent monster. Ridge literally gave Elektra an ultimatum to stay away from Will because Will was dangerous. But Will wasn't the monster. RJ is the monster. Ridge's own son is a literal psychopath who locks women in basements. The hypocrisy is just staggering. Fans on social media are going to absolutely lose their minds over this. We have been complaining about the physical violence for weeks. The slapping, the punching, the toxic behavior. But this is psychological torture. This is a whole new level of dark for the bold and the beautiful. I was just reading comments yesterday about how people were tired of the violence, and now the writers drop this massive psychological thriller twist on us. So what happens next? Does RJ get arrested right there at the bikini bar? Does Ridge try to cover it up because you know Ridge will do anything to protect his kids? Will Ridge actually look at those bruises on Dylan's wrists and try to say she is lying? I wouldn't put it past him at this point. And maybe I'm being too harsh on the Forresters. Okay, that sounded dramatic, but you get what I mean. They have always protected their own, but this is indefensible. Elektra is going to need some serious therapy after this. She threw away Will, a guy who actually loved her even if he made some dumb corporate mistakes and had a temper, for a guy who locks women in basements. The guilt and the trauma she is going to feel, it is going to be massive. She stepped back from RJ, and you could just see the terror in her eyes. The man she was about to marry is a stranger, a dangerous stranger. I am just so tired of the golden boy narrative. RJ has always been so smug. He has always acted like he is better than everyone else. And now we see what is underneath. It is dark. It is really, really dark. And we have to talk about Dylan for a second. Yes, she has been a bit of a gold digger. Yes, she was scheming to get her hands on the Spencer wealth. But nobody, and I mean nobody, deserves to be locked in a basement and abused. The sheer bravery it must have taken for her to escape and crash a room full of Forresters to expose him. She is actually the hero of this episode. She saved Elektra's life. If Dylan hadn't shown up, Elektra would have said yes. Elektra would have been tied to this psychopath forever. I keep thinking about the timeline. Weeks. She was down there for weeks. How did nobody notice she was missing? Was she sending fake texts? Was RJ sending fake texts from her phone to make it look like she was just busy at Forrester Creations? Or did people just not care enough to look for her? Daphne lost her as an assistant. RJ probably made sure she was transferred or fired so nobody would ask questions. It is chilling how calculated this all is. This completely changes the entire landscape of the show. The corporate war between Logan and Forrester. It means nothing now. The fashion show's meaningless. We have a kidnapper in the Forrester family. I wonder how Brooke is going to react. Brooke has been so high and mighty, disowning Katie, acting like her family is superior. How is she going to handle the fact that her precious son RJ is a criminal? Will she try to blame it on someone else? Will she say Dylan provoked him? Oh God, I hope not. And Bill Spencer. Bill is going to have an absolute field day with this. Ridge punched Bill in the face, acting like a thug, and now Ridge's son is going to jail for kidnapping. Bill is going to use this to destroy Forrester Creations in the press. The PR nightmare that Steffy was worried about with Hope's defection. That is child's play compared to this. Forrester are arrested for kidnapping and torture. That is the headline that is going to run in every paper in Los Angeles. I am just rambling at this point, but my adrenaline is through the roof. I cannot believe they actually went there. I cannot believe RJ is the villain. It makes you rethink every single interaction he has had over the last few months. Every time he told Elektra he was protecting her. Every time he looked at Will with that smug superiority. It was all a mask. We will have to see how this plays out tomorrow. But honestly, I don't know if the show can ever go back to normal after a reveal like this. The fallout is going to be nuclear. Will Elektra go crawling back to Will? Will Will even take her back after she abandoned him? Will Dylan press charges and take the Foresters for everything they are worth? I have so many questions, and I need the next episode right now. I am going to be refreshing my spoiler feeds all night. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Are you as shocked as I am? Did anyone see this coming? Because I sure didn't. Watch this space, you guys. It is going to be a bumpy ride.